Hey everybody, this is Ryan Perry. I'm with Gary Heinlein, who is a 4.0 rated player on Duper. Today in strategy and training with pickleball, we're going to talk about keeping your eye on the ball. Just like baseball, it's really important in pickleball to keep your eye on the ball. One, why is that? Even though it probably sounds pretty obvious. And then two, do you have any tips or tricks to kind of help people who may be struggling keeping the eye on the ball, especially when people speed it up?
Yeah. Keeping your eye on the ball is important in pretty much almost any sport. But like Ryan said, baseball, if you don't watch that ball coming, you're usually not going to hit it. Yeah. Okay? Pickleball, you've got to watch that ball. And one of the biggest things, if you're wanting to improve in your game, is to slow that ball down as it's coming. So you're watching it, but you're just slowing it down in your mind, trying to slow everything down, and then watching it and then putting it back to where you want it to go. But to do that, again, you have to watch that ball. Whether it's coming clear from the far end of the court back to you, or if you're at the kitchen line and going into a shootout. That's when you really got to slow it down and just watch the ball and place it back. And then be thinking in your mind a little bit of strategy is like you're watching the ball, say, why am I hitting it directly back to him? Why did I just put a little bit of angle on it so that it makes him move? So as you can slow it down and watch the ball, then you're returning. If you tense up and like that, you tend to take your eye off the ball. Right. And two, keeping as still as you can. In the kitchen, at the kitchen line, the least amount of footwork or movement of your feet is the best, because as you're moving, every time you move, your head has to reset and you've got to refocus. That's why it's important, just like in baseball and a lot of sports, keeping your head still. So a lot of people are going over here like this, moving their head around. Try to keep your head still, keep your body as still as you can. Take a step and get to the ball, but as you're watching the ball, you're placing it back. So again, watching that ball, keeping the head still. Again, that movement at the kitchen line or even in the back. I was working with one gal that she would lunge at the ball, and I used to be a batting instructor in baseball. And if your head lunged, you usually miss the ball. And so the same way in pickleball, if you keep your body still, your head still, and then make your swing using your body motion or, using your body to drive it if you're doing a long drive, or even a dink. A dink is just getting under it, watching it. And that bounce, let's talking about a dink as it's coming over, watch it all the way. There's times where you may get into a movement and maybe you take your eye off a little bit, but most of the time, if you can watch it bounce, it hits the ground, it's coming back up, start letting it drop back down. So you're getting under the ball and pushing it back. But the only way you can do that is to keep your eye on the ball. Right. You'll find more unforced errors when you're not watching the ball.
Yeah.
So it's very important.
And you mentioned a good thing as far as kind of when you're in that dinking game or just in general, the importance of keeping an eye on the ball also that I've learned is spin. Mm-hmm. So when people are putting spin on the ball, if you're not seeing that as it's coming at you, then you don't necessarily know that the ball is going to shoot off or maybe come at you a little bit faster. So keeping your eye on the ball, I think, is really important for that, to kind of expect where the ball's going. And also, I think from a strategy point of view is paying attention to where the ball's at. Like I know for me, being a what I call a struggling 3-0 player at this point, is I'm still trying to remember if I pop a ball up or my partner pops a ball up, where is that ball going to go? If they hit it flat, it's going to go out because it's so high. Right. Otherwise, it's got to come down because the court is so much shorter. So at that point, I need to be aware of where the ball's at, get my paddle down so that I have an expectation of where it should go, and I've already placed my paddle there. Because when you watch the pros, I'm amazed. It's like they know where the ball's going, and to some degree they actually do because they've been playing for so long. And I think that's also an important part of actually watching the ball is based on where is it at, where's the likelihood that it's going to be returned to.
That's important. I know a lot of intermediate players, but even advanced players, that ball gets popped up or your partner puts a, we call it a lollipop, puts it up there. It's ready to be slammed back at you. And you're out in the middle of no man's land or either up at, even at the net. But of course, when you see a pop up back up as far as you can, but get yourself set. Most of the time balls are missed because you're still trying to back up while they're slamming it at you. You got to just get back. When they're ready to slam, you get down, like Ryan said, drop down. I call it a shovel hold. That you just put your paddle down almost to the ground, and you're watching the ball, and you see the angle that they hit. So this is all about watching the ball. You see the angle they hit, and you place your paddle over to there. You just put it down to block it. Okay, you know the angle. Now, this is probably the only time, well, I'll tell you to take your eye off the ball. Because what you're going to do, you're going to see it. You've seen it. Now, as you put the paddle down, the only reason I say this is you drop your head a little bit. You could try to still watch the ball, but wear a hat or a visor or something, because you put your head down, what that's going to do is keep you from getting hit in the face. Because if you get an advanced play and they're aggressive, you get one in the face, it's going to hurt. Yeah. The body can usually take it, but coming down, so you put your head down and and you'll see it as it comes down here, and then you just try to shovel it up. What that is just pull it up, usually two hands, because if you do one hand, you'll tend to flip it, it'll go deep. If you just two hands on it, I can't do it sitting down, but two hands where you just flip it up, because the speed is already there.
Right.
You flip it, and it puts a little top spin on it, and just hopefully dinks it back over the net. But if you, as they say, if you can stay alive one more shot, that keeps you in the game. So that blocking it. And so what like I started to say, most intermediate players do is as soon as they saw the slam come, they
run.
They run. But to help your partner out, get as low as you can, get the paddle set, watch it as it comes off the paddle, then drop your head to protect. Because if it hits you in the top of your head, you're okay. But you don't want to get hit in the face. But you put your paddle down and try to block it and stay alive. Yeah. But it's still, that key is watching the ball as their angle of their paddle, and as a ball comes off, then drop your head for safety and sit there and try to block it.
Yeah. All right, perfect. So those are some tips on why it's important to keep an eye on the ball, and maybe some strategy on where keeping the eye on the ball is important. So we do want to thank our sponsor, DT Footwear, for sponsoring these series of pickleball training videos. And, of course, thank you, Gary.
Well, thank you, and I enjoy my DT Footwear shoes. They're great.